Hey, I'm back for part 3, which is, I was going to do, I was supposed to come back in and finish part 2, but that was supposed to be sew in the pages. But what I want to do tonight is part 3, and that for the faux leather paper craftivity is, to color pages. So I've already colored some pages, a bunch of pages, and I'm going to show you those in a moment. See, I did, let me put this one aside, this one, and this one, this one, and this one, and they are front and back colored. Some are light, some are dark, some are torn. So the pages I was using came from this paper, and this paper came out of a book, a blank book, which is this book, and I tore out the pages so that they were all in one piece, and then I just kind of tore these apart, and this I'm going to use as a glue book, so I had to take a bunch of the pages out. Okay, so I'm going to put that away, and put those away. And I had these, I distressed the edges with this one, Inktense block, which is called Bark. It's dark brown, and that's the color that it makes. And I took about 3 of these, and I distressed the edges there with that Inktense block. And what I realized is when I crumpled it up, it would tear on the edges, and now that one's not so bad. Okay, this one, this is here, that's a little bit torn. That's not too bad. I can use that as a page because it's not torn up here or anywhere in there, in the seam part or in the middle part there. So that one also is not too bad. I'll probably add these pages. That's pretty good. This one is very badly torn, right? And this is, if you look at the edges, you can see the little divots in the paper, and that of course was where I have a couple here drying, where the thread was. And see, this is also like that. And then I have another one here. This one's really badly torn, but there was one, oh, this one I can't use unless I figure out a way to secure it. I was thinking about taking paper tape and putting like a strip of paper tape. Also colored the brown, or this combination. I have 3 different colors, Inktense blocks, that I'm going to combine to get all these wonderful colors, and I'll show you those in a minute. And there's another one in here in this mix, somewhere in the mix. Where is it? Huh. I know I had it. I have to show it to you. I have a need. Well, maybe I can't show it to you. There was another one that was torn in the middle. This one I probably won't use for the pages because of that tear there. But I can use it for other parts of the Faux Leather Paper Journal. Well, I know it's here somewhere. I can't find it. I don't know where it went. It disappeared. Whatever. Okay, so what I've decided to do is, instead of using that paper, I've decided to use this paper, which is the Paycon Mixed Media paper, and the pages measure, I wrote it down here along with all the colors I'm going to use, 8 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. So those are the pages. Okay, the inks are Bark, or the Inktense blocks, Bark, which is a very dark brown, almost black looking. And then this one, I need my thing back here, is Willow. This is the Willow. color, and then this one is called Baked Earth. To me it looked kind of coppery, and now when I'm looking at it, now it looks like sweet potato. Think sweet potato orange or something. But they, all three of them together, make those wonderful color combinations that I was showing you on those pages. Okay, so this is Paycon mixed media paper, and it's, I think it's 80-pound paper. And originally, what I was going to do was I started out last weekend, or last week, I started with this, and I used this, which is copy paper, and I just kind of blend. It looks very dull. The color looks very dull in the screen panel. I'm hoping it doesn't look like that when you see it video-wise. And this turned out good, but I'm like, I don't really like it because the color was much more intense, you know, like these were when it was wet. When that copy paper was wet, it had maybe this color, you know, and I was like, oh yeah, that's great. And then once it dried, it dulled in color, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I like that. So I thought, okay, I'm not going to use those. Let me try those book pages that I have quite a few of. And then those tore so quickly and so easily that I kind of got discouraged a little bit, and I thought, okay, what can I use? I can use Paycon mixed media paper. It is a little bit thicker paper, and a little much sturdier, I should say. So what I did was I measured out the paper, because that is 9 by 12 paper, and then I just crumpled it like this, and then slowly, carefully, I just went like that, iron it out a little bit. I want those bumps to be in there. Oh, there, got some Inktense color there. I want those bumps there because that's what creates the veins. See the veins on the paper? That's what creates those veins, the veiny lines, and it looks really cool. Once again, it looks very dull in that screen panel. I need to fix my screen panel adjustments. This looks really cool, very distressed, you know, and I didn't want to go with the basic coffee dye. I wanted something different. Everybody does the coffee dye, and I do have really bad instant coffee that would be perfect for you know, coloring papers, dyeing papers. And I thought, nope, let's try the Inktense box. So that works really well. Now this one, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to distress the edges. I was supposed to do this before crumpling, but I forgot. So I'm going to do it right now on camera. Is it working? Can you see it? Might not be able to see it. It's very thin paper. So I think I will go with the pages I've already covered or colored, and as long as they're not torn down the middle there where the fold is, then I think I can use them. And the ones that are really torn at the top, I can still use them, but not for the pages. Maybe on the pages, you know. Okay, so that looks decent enough. So what I want to do is set that aside. Is I'm going to take the bark color. What is it? Oh, I think it's paper. And I'm just going to add the color. So I'm going to do the dark brown, which is called bark. I did go into Derwent's website to get the color names, because on the tin, I have the 24 block set. There, it does show the colors, and I think it might show the numbers, but it doesn't show what the names of of them are. Okay, so do that. And then I have a little turntable here that was working for me before, but now I can just easily turn the paper around on it. The mat that this is on top of right now is by Score Pal, and I turned it over for the shiny side instead of the grid side. Okay. I still do have to exercise caution here because once it gets wet, it's going to be less stable or less sturdy, I guess, is maybe... Is that the word? I don't know. Does it matter? Doesn't matter. It's funny, usually I go with this one second. I gotta get my tissue out of there. I'm also going to do the other side right away while it's still dry. And once I wet this, as I will wet this, then you'll see all these colors come through. The glory of the colors. Okay, now let me try this. Start with the dark color. Usually artists start with light and go to dark, but I'm going to start with dark and go to light for this process. Okay, and then the willow color. Or is it the color willow? The color willow. Ooh. Violent. Let's not be violent now. Okay, and then the baked earth. I wonder if they sell these in single colors. Like, buy just, maybe if I just need a baked earth one, or just these 3 colors. I'll have to check their website and see if I can get refills, so to speak, I guess. Trying to get some of the color in there. Okay, now I'm going to take a baby wipe. Oh, you know, sometimes sometimes these baby wipes. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm going to have to refill my thing. Now that I've gotten Inktense colors on them. That was not as quiet as I wanted it to be. And now I'm just going to blend it in. And instead of doing the sweeping diagonal motion, I'm going after the swirl technique. Kind of blend it in that way. I'm trying to figure out what's more comfortable for me here. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute when why I don't want to go like that. It does have a look to it even after it dries, and I wasn't too crazy about that. Now I need to make this a little bit darker. This is also the first time I'm doing this with the Paycon mixed media paper. So it might have a different effect or produce a different effect. Oh, look at those veins. Aren't they cool? Get that one out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to, not going to add any more of the baked earth. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. That's beautiful. I do have to be careful with this paper because it will pill if I rub on it enough, rub the paper enough. It's going to pill, so I don't want to do that. Okay, that is cool. Flip it over. Look at that. See, there is some pilling. I could feel it. Let's see. Can you see any pilling? Maybe not from maybe on the different angles, maybe. Hard to say. Okay, now this one. I don't think I need another, oh no, another wipe. I'm just going to use the same one here. Maybe brush the sides here. Because they're much harder to swirl. It's harder to swirl there at the edge. I hear a kitty. Can't tell if it's a coconut, a blue moon, or a stormy. Oh, that could be stormy. It might be coming over. I hope not. Cool. Yeah, that worked really well. Where is she? Oh yeah, she's noshing on some cat food. So we have that side and this side. These are much different. This is a little bit darker. Not as dark, but you can still see the lines and everything. So when it dries, I hope it's not going to be much lighter. That's perfect. Perfect. So it only took about 20 minutes. So this part's roughly 20 minutes or so. And I figure if I use, maybe put some of these in between, once this is dry, of course, but do a bunch of these and then put them in between the other sheets that aren't as stable, that tear easily, then I think I can get a pretty good set of pages, book pages. And maybe even I could have, because what I'm planning to do is put it in here, in this one. I'm going to hang this one up over my camera stand here. Okay, so with this one, I do plan to use this one, and I'm going to wipe this down, I think. Let me get a baby wipe. Let me wipe this down first. And then I can show you this is sliding off. It shouldn't really slide off. As I put a non-slip liner on here. This is a very noisy turntable, but it was relatively inexpensive. Some people were saying, it makes too much noise. I said, I don't care. I just, I need something, you know, occasionally. I'm going to turn my artwork around or something. This cleans up much better than the other side does. I'll show you what the other side looks like. This is the other side, and I did get some of the Inktense brown on there. I think that's the bark color, and it will not come off. So it's permanent on there. I was like, oh, there's another one here, I see. So put it on here, it comes off of here. Great. Awesome, awesome. Okay. So these are the pages. I think I said when I was showing part 2 about putting, right now I'm watching that video where I'm gluing the papers into this one, and I think I had already done this one. So, but I did this one on camera, and I think I said I was going to, when I come back in, or when everything's dry, I'm going to sew the pages in. But I also realized that this did take some time, and so that this is part 2. Making the distressed faux leather paper was part 1, and then of course coloring the pages is part 3, these pages, and part 4 is, I'll just put this one here. Part 4 will be sewing the pages into the book. So I'm hoping that that's going to be next week, because I do have to do a few more of the Paycon mixed media pages. It's really very relaxing to do these. So I can do, oh yes, that one's not a page. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, this one's torn here a little bit, 4, 5, oh, maybe I'll flip this one over, 5, that doesn't matter, 6, this one's torn here on the seam, that's also not a page. Okay, so I have 6 here, and the 7th one is drying, and I might be able to swing a couple of SIGs. If that's the case, signatures of paper, then I can do like maybe 4 sheets as one signature, and another 4 as a signature, and maybe do a 2 signature. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. I'll have to see, or just put them all together. I would think my spine needs to be a little, the book spine needs to be a little bit wider, right? Instead of just this one one fold. So this is what it's going to look like when it's in, with about maybe an eighth to a quarter inch on top and bottom. And let's find the middle here, the middle-ish, and do that right. Whoa, that'll be cool. I can't wait to put that together. So just gonna move it up a little. That'll be cool. And then I'll have to figure out maybe to put it together, because it will probably poof up a little. Something, a clasp or something. Maybe I can do a... What can I do? Maybe I can do a clasp, not a clasp, a grommet or something, or a cam snap. A cam snap. I'm laughing at that. Like, maybe I can do like a... Do I have a brown one? A brown... Yeah, a brown cam snap. I have a brown one. I remember the shirt that I fixed. I used brown cam snaps for that. So I could do that. Or I could try and see, maybe I can do a brad. I have a couple of gold, a mess of gold ones I could do. Gold brads or something. We'll see. So stay tuned for part 4. I will say this though. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned for part 4. Right? Yeah. Bye.